we're ready. So, before I quickly get on the game, hello YouTube, it's Jonas Hamilton here. I am streaming this on Twitch currently. If you want to catch my live streams, link in the first description below. And I stream whenever I feel like it. I do stream often though, so if you want to catch a stream, there's the chance. I do upload the single player games onto YouTube, so if you don't want to watch the streams, you can always watch it on YouTube. Using the emote. I haven't sorted my emotes out, Luigi. I'm still yet to sort that out. Alright, let's press start. Yeah, okay. I shouldn't have done that. I've done this already. Doo-doo. Jean Baptiste? Alice? The interphone buzzes again as I'm putting on my blouse. Jean Baptiste, Alice, can you get that please? At this time in the morning, it's probably a delivery. I wonder what Jean Baptiste, I hope I'm saying that name right. Reaper Vexel, yo, I'm in college, bored, so I'm a watch. Hello Reaper, thank you for joining us in this wonderful stream. I wonder what Jean Baptiste has ordered this time. I hope I am not. God. Send Jean Baptiste or answer the interphone. Alright, so I know if I can. Okay, hang on. I know there's something I can do with Twitch. So if I go to options, no, that's not it. Okay, no, I don't know what it is. So I'm gonna let's do it with the Twitch chat. Twitch, what should I do? Should I? I'm at home because I'm dying, so I'm gonna watch. Yeah, that's it. Hope you get better soon, Luigi. But what should we do? Should we answer the phone or send Jean Baptiste? Luigi says interphone. Anyone else wanna say? And I just go on and phone my phone. Interphone. Yeah, I guess we're going with the interphone. I quickly finished dressing and hurry to answer the interphone. The delivery man who I thank for his patience tells me in a tone of his voice that yes, there's a package for me. A few minutes later, I'm back in my kitchen. I've made myself a coffee and, with a sense of foreboding, I look at the flat, square package which dominates the kitchen table. Jean-Baptiste comes into the kitchen, absently buttoning his shirt. He jerks his head towards the package and peers at me. Jean, what's that? Oh, I have no idea. Alice, I think it's a record, a vinyl. The shape of the package is so distinctive that my guess is almost a certainty, and the handwriting leaves me into no possible doubts. I recognise the hesitant, disjointed handwriting of you'll see, I guess, a record store owner with whom I shared several years of my life before I met Jean Baptiste a little over 3 years ago. As I've had no news from since the night we split up, getting a package from him is unexpected to say the least. Jean-Baptiste gives me a quizzical stare. Do I tell him the truth or make something up? I think I'm going to go with telling the truth. I mean, it makes sense. Telling lies is never your answer. Never tell people a lie. But, chat, what should we do? Are we going to tell him the truth or lie? Daniel says lie. I guess we're going with lie. There's no point in risking an argument. I decided to leave out of the discussion. It must be a mistake. I didn't order anything, and I haven't used a record player for ages. Maybe it's from a label who found my new address and sent me a new release. Mark and Ulsi domiciled their record store at my place when they started out. I used to receive records all the time, even long after they changed their address. Jean-Baptiste shrugs but doesn't look convinced. I've got to run. Jean-Baptiste says, my father has some big Chinese clients coming to the castle at lunchtime. I have to organise the meeting with the cellar master. He plants a quick kiss on my lips. Shall we meet up at the brasserie this evening? I might finish late. Remember that we planned dinner this evening with my brother and my sister-in-law. Yes, okay, let's meet there. It's easier. I wait, listening to his footsteps go down the stairs and fade before I return to the kitchen to open the package. I need a little privacy to deal with the intrusion of this ghost from my past. I grab a large chef's knife from the worktop and slide it along the fold, cleanly slicing the seal of brown packaging tape. Inside there is a record, a 7-inch as the English call them. It's protected by a new sleeve, white card, without anything written that could give me some idea of what's actually pressed into the grooves. Knowing you'll see, I think that's how I'm saying it. If anyone French in this chat, tell me how you say that. Passion for rare records is probably a white label, a test pressing, sent to the record company by the factory to check the track order and the general sound quality before mass producing the record. I carefully slide the record out of its jacket. There's no label in the middle to tell me more of its content. What I suppose to be the A side is cut in one single piece, which leaves one to suppose that it's a 45. As for the B side, it's bare of any grooves. The black shiny surface of the record seems to reflect my confusion back at me. Why? And particularly, why now? It's been more than 3 years since Ulcil vanished from my life, as who I'm going to call him, Ulcil. 3 years without a word. What could have driven him to send me a record now, without the least explanation? I check the clock on the wall above the door. I still have 15 minutes before I need to leave for the office, which leaves me plenty of time to listen to the record, which can't last more than about 5 minutes, maybe 7, 8 maximum. I pick up the packaging to put it in the waste basket and take a moment to inspect it again, checking there's no note or anything, hidden in a fold. Nothing. And no return address either. The postmark tells me that the parcel was posted from Paris, the 10th arrondissement. I take the record, then hesitate again. Do I really want to revisit the past before work? I do. Or wouldn't it be better to wait till this evening? I want to listen to the record. I want to go to work, but I'm gonna take this choice for the team chat. I'm gonna listen to the record. I want to listen to the record. It seems like it's something you'd have to listen to now. I decided not. Discount wait. In any case, if I don't listen to the record now, I won't be able to think of anything else all day. See? I go into the living room. The hi-fi has been relegated to a corner of the room, behind the couch. As I lift the cover of the turntable, dust floats up into the room. Jean-Baptiste preferred the background noise of the TV, so naturally I've stopped listening to music since we've moved in together. I plug in the headphones and put them over my ears.
The night is upon me. A dark alley of cobblestone, glittering in the drizzling rain. I take the last train on my cigarette. A door opens, a to choose my pain, to choose my pain. In this sea of others, together, but in love, you're tearing me apart. I'm shrinking, you're the one who grows distant. But it's me who's shrinking. I'm becoming someone else in your absence.
Still together.
Still together, already alone.
Oh, this is really. What's this in the top corner? Lexicon, white label, English term to describe the test pressing of a vinyl record. Checking for the large scale production. Unlike records intended for sale, test pressing do not generally have a printed sticker on the central label, which is often left blank, hence the designation white label. These rare records are treasured by collectors for the guaranteed sound quality, new mold at the time of pressing, provide just checks of the accuracy of the copy. Lucille? He turns and gazes at me sadly. This game has caught me by surprise, by the way. Like, holy moly, this game has just come in here and been like, boom. So, sit back and enjoy the ride with me. I remember this evening perfectly. This is the day I met Jean-Baptiste, and this is the day Lucille and I said goodbye. So I guess if I went the other way, things would have been different. This definitely deserves to be played for. For weeks our relationship has been withering away, so Alice, the character we play as, was dating Lucille, and now going out with Jean-Baptiste. I think we both knew that sooner or later it was coming to an end. He was eking out a living with his record store, and me, I already started to want something else. That was the evening he left me. Yes. I just came to see if you were okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry too. You saw Louis's eyes remorseful. I'm going to go. This was a bad idea. I shouldn't have come here tonight. He goes out the door and moves away. For a moment, I falter. Perhaps I should let him go, as he does in my memory. I should push my way to the bar, order a double whiskey, and let Jean-Baptiste buy it for me, then go for a coffee with him a few days later. You sell? He stopped and looked at me, startled. In a few strides I catch up with him. What a strange dream. Why did you send me a record? A record? I didn't send you any record. Yes, you did. It arrived this morning. White sleeve, no label. Does that ring a bell? Lucille looks terrified. You weren't supposed to listen to it. Listen, Alice. You have to go back to the bar. You have to do everything like the first time, like in your memory. There may still be time to avoid disaster. What disaster? Lucille, please tell me. I need to understand. Everything I've done, I did for you. Trust me, Alice, I promise you don't want to know more. Around us, the world is beginning to break apart. It's too late. I hear the rhythm far away. It rushes towards me like a galloping horse. I am engulfed by the music once more.
You're tearing me apart. I'm shrinking, you're the one who grows distant. But it's me who's shrinking. I'm becoming someone else in your absence. Breathing in, breathing out. The variations of me, I tear myself apart. I'm shrinking, I stretch my wings out. I'm someone else, and then I'm myself again.
Ooh. Hold on. Whoa. That took that is just flipped itself on the head and whoa. Wait. Okay, so what's happened? I guess that's the prologue. What's happened so far is us as Alice. What happens if we didn't listen to it in the morning and we went to work? Oh, there's so many questions I have right now. Like, I just want to go back to the beginning and change it. But I'm gonna play this through like properly, and then we'll play it again at a later date. But still, wow, we listened to the music, and it sent us back in time. I'm guessing, and that's the first time we met Jean Baptiste, and Lucille was still there, and he said you weren't supposed to listen to the music, which I'm guessing is some kind of way of sending us back in time. But as long as the music is playing, so it's like you have the music, the whole song to do what you want to do. That's just a hunch, but oh my, that is mwah. Chapter 1. There's 6 chapters. Bordeaux. I don't know how to say that. I think it's the place. I stay where I am, sat by the record player. The style is circling the central groove. An uneasy hiss in my ear. An uneasy hiss in my ear as well. Did I fall asleep? What happened? I take off the headphones and replace the torn arm on its rest. Tone arm, not torn arm. I tried to get my thoughts in order. Order? Order. I haven't thought of you still in months. I never understood why we broke up. I do want to point out that this artwork is mwah, chef's kiss. I love it. It looks really nice. Our relationship worked. Little by little, Ucel became distant. I threw myself into my studies. I probably neglected him. Our twin orbits diverged. And one day, he was gone from my life. Should I have fought? Should I have tried to save what we built together? Would it have changed anything? I met Jean Baptiste. He was charming. It was easy. Then I learned from Mark that Ucel had left Bordeaux. How do you say that place? Life went on. I finished my studies. I found a job in a bank. Disgusting. We moved in together, Jean-Baptiste and I. We quickly settled into a routine. Weeks, months, years passed without me really noticing. Is this truly happiness, or is it only a comfortable status quo that I've never had the courage to challenge? I have a strange sensation as if I'd suddenly woke up from a long sleep, a sleep that has lasted for years. I checked the time, 9:35. Oh shoot, I'm going to be late if I don't leave right now. I put on my coat and set off on the short walk between the apartment and the branch office of the bank where I work. Sure, nothing's lagging. Good. I go into my bank. I say hi to Martin on the counter. Then I strap myself in my office. I have a stack of files to deal with, but I can't concentrate. I stop at the apartment after work to take a shower and change. Then I hop on the tram to join Marie, Robin, and Jean-Baptiste at the restaurant. Jean is such a nice name. I open the door of the brassiere and plunge into the warm fog. The hubbub punctuated by the gurgle of the espresso machine. Jean-Baptiste loved his place. It's just under his old apartment. Plus, Marie and Robin don't live far away. They just had a baby, and an evening out from time to time is like a breath of fresh air for them. I pass the bar and say hi to Michel. Or was it Michael? Michael's got an A, isn't it? Michel, I think it is. The owner. He seems surprised to see me, but before I can kiss him hello, he's called away for an order from the other side of the counter. At the end of the room, Robin is waving to me. I sit down opposite him. At the end of the table, there's a pram. Marie's gone out to take a phone call. Is everything alright? Oh yes, you know. I'm guessing it's more problems with the christening. If I had any idea what kind of nightmare it was going to be, I'd never have let that priest get his claws into my protege's spiritual life. Alright, chat, what should we go for? It's nice to maintain the traditions, or it's pointless, but it makes Marie happy. Nothing? Okay, I guess we'll say it's nice to maintain the tradition. You know it's important to Marie's parents. And it's a great tradition, isn't it? You don't get many opportunities to get all the family and friends together in a big party, and my mouse just does not go away. I really get the feeling that people are getting more worked up about this than they do about weddings. Are you, and yet you're not married, so we couldn't really say that you've got a reliable point of reference. Robin laughs. That's true. But I promise you, I'm immune after all this nonsense. I lean over the pram. The baby's fast asleep. And how's my favourite little niece? You can see she enjoys the hustle and bustle just like her auntie. I feel a hand on my shoulder. It's Marie, she's back, phone in hand. We hug. Sorry I had to take a call for work. You'd think they'd just be leaving all the files on my desk for me to deal with after my maternity leave. So how's things with you? Don't speak about the record. They'll think you're insane. Also, look at the top. I've noticed things have started to change. Oh, you know, everything's fine. Marie knows that I prefer to keep my thoughts private, but she also knows me too well not to notice there's something bothering me. What's the matter? Something wrong at home? A problem at the office? No, nothing like that. I got a package from... Oh, for God's sake. I said don't talk about it. They're going to think you're insane. Oh, yeah, I guess it's from her ex-boyfriend, so... Don't speak about the dreamy part, though. Your ex? Himself. That's surprising, isn't it? Nah, I expected it. You broke up, what, 3 years ago? What was in the package? A record, a vinyl. That's all? No note? Nothing? No, just a record without any explanation. Ah yes, I remember, the record store guy, right? I don't know why you guys broke up. He was really cool. Marie glares at Robin, who buries himself back in the wine list. Yes, Robin, stay in the wine list. Women are speaking. So no note, nothing. It's odd, isn't it? Yes, and Marie is a person of stating the obvious. What was on the record? Did you listen to it? Yes, a 45, no label, no idea of the artist or the group. I tried to remember the music itself, but I can't seem to recall the melody. It sounds kind of psychedelic, probably from the 60s. A whole load of memories came flooding back when I listened to it. It was really weird. I felt like I was actually reliving the past, the night when Lucille and I broke up. Still, it's a little out of order for him. No news for years and he sends you a record now without any explanation. So anyway, what are you going to do? Yes, we are going to investigate, ladies and gentlemen. I really need to find out what's going on. If Lucille decides to send me a record after 3 years of radio silence, it must be important to him. I think I'll start by going around to his record store tomorrow, on the way back from the office. But I thought Lucille had left Bordeaux. Bordeaux? He did, but I think that Mark, his former partner, is the most likely person to know what's happened to him. Marie nods. Well, yes, it makes logical sense. Good thinking. Listen, I don't want to hurry you, but can we order? So we can get home before the next feed. Aren't we going to wait for Jean-Baptiste? Marie and Robin looked at me, bemused. Jean-Baptiste? Yes, he was seeing some Chinese customers today, but he shouldn't be much longer. Alice, who's this Jean-Baptiste? I don't know what to say. How can I not know who Jean-Baptiste is? Jean-Baptiste, my boyfriend, you know, we had dinner with you quite a few times. We even spent a weekend together this summer, on the bay, don't you remember? Marie looks worried. Robin is glancing around nervously. I let out a shaky laugh. You're kidding me, right? Are you sure you're okay, Alice? This summer, on the bay, you were with an Arthur. You broke up 2 or 3 weeks after. You've never introduced her to any Jean-Baptiste. Robin nods in agreement. Is this my doing? What happens if I didn't... Yeah, what happens if I didn't listen to it? I don't understand. I don't remember any Arthur. My head is spinning. I stand up, spots dance in front of my eyes, and that's because I spoke to you still in that memory. Robin rushes to catch me by the shoulder. Alice, you're scaring me. Are you alright? Yes, I need some air. I turn and hurry through the barricade. Behind me I hear Marie and says to Robin, let her go, we'll call her tomorrow. Then I'm out on the streets. The cool air helps me collect my thoughts. A little further away on the sidewalk I make out the familiar shape of Jean-Baptiste. He's smoking a cigar. The Jean-Baptiste that I know has stopped working. We stopped together. I thumb in my coat pocket. I pull out a packet of half empty. It shouldn't be there. There's no rational explanation why I should have a packet of smokes on me. Unless... Jean-Baptiste has seen me. He smiles at me. I can't stay here staring at him from a distance. I have to take a decision, but I don't know if I should turn away or go and talk to him. I hesitate. Go nearer. I want to find out who this... I go nearer. Jean-Baptiste rummages through his pockets and holds a lighter out to me. I notice that I still have the packet of cigarettes in my hand. I take one out and let him light it for me. Are you alright? The way he looks at me is manners. They aren't those of someone who shared several years of my life. He doesn't remember me. Us, either. It's all this precise moment that something that was just an impression, a suspicion, a kind of out there thought which couldn't actually happen in real life, strikes me full force. This man, who I was making plans for the future with just yesterday, is watching me with indifference, mildly disturbed by my distress. I'm a stranger to him, and it hurts, badly. And now, there he is, right in front of me, waiting for me to answer. Yeah, fine thanks, it's just that, how should I say it, my day's been emotional. I get exactly what you mean. We're on a slippery slope, which I decided to not continue down. I don't know how he'll react if he asks me what's happened to my day, and I know he's about to just do that. Haven't we met already? Your face looks familiar. I don't think so. I'd remember you. Do you often drink here? He nods towards the window behind me. Maybe you just saw me in there sometime. I come here a lot. This is actually kind of sad. I don't know. Maybe. Probably. John drops his cigarette and crushes it with his foot. Sorry, but I have to go. Do you want me to ask Michelle to get you a taxi? No, that's kind, but it's fine. He starts back into the Bristol and changes his mind and returns to pick up his cigarette, and he takes the chance to look at me again, as if he was searching for an elusive memory or a word on a tip of his tongue. He flashes me an embarrassed smile, accompanied by a good night, before disappearing into the Bristol. I stay where I am, in the cold, dragging on my cigarette, my heart in my shoes. Then I turn away and head up the streets towards the tram stop. The first thing I do when I get back to the apartment is bolt the door behind me. I had the feeling of being followed on the way home. I'm probably being a bit paranoid, but well, who knows? Someone breaking into my home during the night would really just top my day off. The second thing that I do is go into the bedroom and open Jean-Baptiste's side of the closet. I'm not particularly surprised to find it full of my old clothes, things I thought I'd got rid of. I go on the balcony and light a cigarette. She's become a full cigarette smoker. As I stand musing, I look at the apartment and I'm aware of a number of small differences that I hadn't noticed earlier in the day. There's no phone charger or small coins in the bowl in the dresser in the hall. The old game console, which had never been plugged back in since we moved, is no longer on a shelf under the TV. The big photo of New York has been replaced by a tattered old poster from a regional rock music festival. The record through, though, still dominates the kitchen table, exactly where I left it earlier in the day. It seems impossible, but it's as if by putting the 45 on the turntable, I truly returned to my past. As if, by choosing to run after Ursel the night we broke up, I hadn't met John Baptiste at the bar. That's exactly what it is. As if I'd returned to a present where I'm single, where John Baptiste and I never met. I could try listening to the record again, to get to the bottom of it, but I'm afraid of making things worse. If it really does have the power to change my past, it could have catastrophic consequences on my life. What do they call that again? The butterfly effect. Yes! I hope Mark will help me to clear all this up. At least, he should be able to tell me what's happened to Lucille. Damn! I grab my phone and leave an apologetic message for Marie. Assuring her that everything's fine, that I'm sorry I slipped away so early, without even eating anything. Then I crush out the cigarette and crawl under my covers in hope of sleep. Saint Michel. I realise that I've hardly set foot in this district since I split up with Ucel. The store that Mark shared with Ucel is in this little semi-pedestrian street on a corner. I used to come by here almost every day, after my college classes a few years ago. When I push the door open, I'm assailed by the characteristic odour of old records, similar yet distinct from the smell of old books. The big speakers fixed in the ceilings blare out a strident fuzz guitar solo at a volume theoretically much too high for a business establishment. I'd be incapable of saying whether it was some obscure 70s garage band or post-rock movement, contemporaries and trying to imitate the elders. I couldn't read a sentence. Mark is reading the sleeves with interest. Only when I reach the other side of the counter did he decide that. He smiles at me. The murmur is something incomprehensible and dim. I gesture to him that I can't hear anything pointing at my ears. He flips his hand at me, waits, then turns the volume on his amp down to something better adapted to conversation. I was saying, they're a local band, pretty powerful, huh? I've signed them up for an EP, I just got the pressing. What's amazing with Mark is that even if we haven't seen each other for probably over a year, he behaves as if we spent yesterday evening together. Hello Mark, are you okay? Everything's cool, thanks, and you? What brings you down here? Have you heard from Ucel lately? No. Mark seems a little surprised at the question. Now you mention it, it's been an age. The last I heard he was in Paris. But when I say last, that was 6 months ago. I called him from a customer who was looking for Magma Originals. Magma, French jazz rock band led by drummer Christian Vander. Their production is characterized by the music that is skilled but crazy, with the lyrics sung in an invented language, the Cobain. Recommended albums, Magma, 1917. It gives you recommended to the songs as well. After it's true, we've kind of lost contact since. Mark breaks off. I guess that in some way he must blame me a little for what happened between Ucel and me, seeing as how our breakup also cost him his business partner. Anyway, so no news of Ucel lately. But why do you ask? I decided to get straight to the point. He sent me a record. A record? Yeah. Yes, no notes, no explanation, no return address, nothing. Just a vinyl record in a package. To tell the truth, the only clue that told me that it came from him was his handwriting for the address. Mark watches me with an odd intensity. Did I spark his interest when I mentioned the record? Or is it something else? Concern? Or fear? Could you describe the record to me? I can do better than that. I'm about to fish the record out of my bag when Mark gestures me to stop. He hails someone who's rummaging in a reggae Afrobeat box behind me. Hey, sir. His target turns with an air of feigned innocence. He's a guy in his 50s. He wears a black leather biker jacket and snug matching pants. His hair, which is slicked back rockabilly, style is considering his age. The improbable uniform, black of a bottle of hair dye. Can I help you? The guy grumbles in discontent, shakes his head and saunters towards the exit. Mark waits for the closing door to ring the bell hanging above it before continuing. Did that guy follow you by any chance? Follow me? Yes, follow you. How should I put it? Have you had the feeling that you've been watched since you received the record? Yes, I've had that feeling. Yes, I've had the feeling of being followed yesterday evening on my way home. But, well, I figured I was being paranoid. Why would someone tell me? And anyway, why would you suspect the guy? Mark can't repress a smile. Two things. An old rockabilly who I don't know in my shop. They're an endangered species. I guarantee they all come in here. No exceptions. At least once a week for a coffee or a beer. They'll never buy anything, but they're cool and they always got amazing stories to tell. Okay, that seems a bit of a stretch, but never mind. And a guy in leather and boots going through the Afrobeat box for 10 minutes. If that's not suspicious. I burst out laughing. Okay, that is very suspicious, you're right. Mark leans over the counter to check who's actually in his shop. There's a couple of students giggling in the depths of the shop. A guy meticulously comparing the covers of two copies of Frank Zappa, Hot Rats. The headphones are on covered over his ears. Okay, the coast's clear. I slipped the record from my bag and placed it on the counter. It's a 45 white label, a test pressing. No scribble number in the grooves. One of the two sides is a mirror side. Mark smiles. You haven't forgotten the jargon then? After all the time I spent with yourself, I think it's lodged into my brain forever. You can put it away, I know what it is. Really? It's not a white label, it's a Kate, a single copy. A Hot Rats, album from Frank Zappa's jazz period, released in 1971, made legendary thanks to, among others, the participation of Don Von Vallette, alias Captain Beefheart, on the track Willie the Pimp, and the jazz violinist Sugarcane Harris and Jean-Luc Ponty, the original vinyl press and amongst the most sought-after record for collectors. In fact, Zappa, always at the forefront of progress, decided when his first albums were re-released on CD to replace the original drum tracks with new recordings. With limited success, the studio sound of the 1980s drum got old very, very fast, automatically increasing the aesthetic and marketability of the thus Massacre original edition. Also, acetate, also known as lacquer, a method of cutting a record that allows the creation of a single copy for test listening before beginning the large-scale duplications. The dream of many collectors would be to unearth unreleased recordings cut of this type. It's not a white label, yeah. That's why there's no matrix number. I put the record back in my bag, but I'm not surprised you don't recognize it. Anish unearthed it a while ago before you split up. It was the only record he wanted to keep when he left, which meant I had to buy his share of the stock. I would have preferred that he'd take the psychedelic shelf. It would have saved me taking out a bank loan. Did you listen to it? Did you listen to it? Yes, I put it on once, on the headphones. That was quite enough for me. Oh yeah? Look, I'm no angel, right? I know the effects of psychedelics, mushrooms, LSDs, salvia. I've tried pretty much everything. But I've never had a trip like the one on that record took me on. Me either, I don't much want to listen to it again. At least, not until I know a bit more. Mark smiles. There are quite a few legends going around about that record, you know. Recording. Some people claim that it's the last recording of a Delta bluesman who made a pact with the devil. I know that story. Also, why is my stream gone to... So I've just got my stream on my phone. Okay, yes, good. It's kind of a holy grail of record collectors, if you know what I mean. There are plenty of crazies who say it's got magical powers. If I were you, I'd be very careful. That record attracts trouble. And to be honest, it makes me pretty anxious about Lucille. It's obvious the most precious thing, the precious thing he possesses. Him sending it to you by post like that, that's not a good sign. After everything you just told me, yes, it is worrying. Do you have his telephone number? The simplest thing would be to reach him for a start, right? Mark nods and pick up the handset. He hangs up a few seconds later. It's sending me direct to his answer phone, telling me my correspondent voicemail box is full, which isn't totally surprising with Lucille. We interrupted by the sound of the bell which hangs above the door. A young girl, with a striking 60s style, approached the counter. She asks shyly if there are any tickets left for the Belle and Sebastian next month at the Familia. Mark takes the ticket from underneath the counter and makes the sale. I gaze after the young woman as she leaves. Mark clears his throat loudly at me. He watches me with a smirk. I realize that I was probably staring at his customer so hard that he noticed. That style would suit you. Do you think? Do you think, I say? I'm surprised to find myself considering the possibility. Then again, it's not as if my job gives me leeway fashion-wise. I don't know. I'm not persuaded that my bosses would find it quite as cool as you do. What was in your head going into finance? I'm a professional finance advisor in a little city centre bank in Bordeaux. It's not exactly what I'd call going into finance. Anyway, what were you saying? That Celia is impossible to reach and that's not really surprising. I'll give you his address if you want. Do you go up to Paris sometimes for work? Mark does paper and pen. It can happen, but like once a year max. In any case, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Same for me. I just got back from vacation. It'd be kind of tricky to justify a trip to Paris. I've written down his number too, just in case. Mark gives me the paper. The first to hear anything calls the other. Right, alright? Belle and Sebastian, a melancholy pop band from Glasgow, very proficient in the 1990s at the start of their career. Their first album rapidly became a success. I nod. Thanks, Mark. You should drop by more often. It's good to see you. As they say, don't be a stranger. You're right. You're right. I'll try to come by more often in the future. My apartment was like a bomb site. I had sensed that something was wrong as soon as I entered the communal area. The door of the apartment was already ajar when I pushed it open, and I prepared myself for the spectacle I was about to confront. Every square centimetre has been carefully searched, every closet emptied, every drawer turned out. I picked up a cushion which lays on the living room floor and placed it on the couch before dropping down next to it, dejected. I realised that Mark's warnings weren't unfounded. Someone really wanted that record. And that person is ready to enter my home while I'm away to achieve their ends. Was it the old rockabilly who was spying on me in the record store? He didn't seem particularly dangerous. On the other hand, a record with the power to change the past, I totally understand that someone might want to get hold of it, even if that means breaking a few laws along the way. I guess there's a few things that I might be tempted to change myself. We all have our regrets, our missed opportunities. I glanced at the turntable. It's been thrown on the floor and the tone arm has flown under the dresser. Just as well. At least I won't be tempted to listen to it again. At least not until I have a better understanding of how the record works. At the moment, the only solid lead I have is Lucille. I forgot how to say his name now. I take out my phone and dial the number that Mark gave me. Maybe I'll be luckier than him. You never know. Apparently not, because I'm also welcomed by the record operator voice telling me in a monotone voice, "Your correspondent voicemail box is full." Beneath the number there's an address in St. Queen. Queen. I know what I have to do. I begin by calling a locksmith to come by and repair my door while I drag my suitcase from the top of the closet. Next I try to call my boss, the bank manager, but he has already switched off his work phone for the night. I'll have to drop into the bank tomorrow to say let know I'm going. I spend the evening tidying up my apartment. The next day my boss is understanding but firm and insists that I transfer all my ongoing files to my colleagues. In the end, I only managed to catch a train to Paris at the end of the afternoon. And we have been streaming for 15 minutes. Wow. That's a lot that's happened. And you know what? I'm going to actually call that. We'll do chapter by chapter. for streams, so I can also do chapter by chapter for YouTube. I don't have to do any editing. This is fun. I'm enjoying it. I've only been streaming for 15 minutes, but I am going to take a break. I need to get some water. I need to stop speaking for about half hour, and then I'll come back and I'll probably stream Apex, or I'll continue this game. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for coming by. Thank you, Ouija, for subscribing, and see you in the next stream. And to my YouTube viewers who have been watching, thank you for watching this YouTube video, and leave a like, comment, subscribe.